Okay, well, first of all, before we get started, I'd like to make sure that we're all COVID-19 compliant. So make sure you've properly distanced yourselves. And when Morton started his presentation yesterday, he gave a screenshot of his work environment. So I thought I would share mine. I do work out of my home here in the USA, and you can see that to support Dyalog, you need to have a MacBook and Linux and various Raspberry Pis and whatnot. So anyhow, and of course, I couldn't do this without paying some attention to the Washington Nationals and their World Series championship from last year. But first, we'd like to thank a number of parties that have been involved with the competition. And first of all, our sponsors. And we've had awesome sponsors since the beginning of the competition, and SimCorp and Tegra 118, who is formerly known as Fiserv Investment Services, and we also have a number of anonymous sponsors. And again, we respect their anonymity, their desire for anonymity, but we also want to make sure that we thank them. So. This year we had a number of beta testers, and we appreciate, again, they prefer to remain anonymous, but they were able to review the problems before we made them publicly available. And that, I think, resulted in a higher quality and fewer revisions to the problems once after they were released. I'd also like to thank Mike Powell. He was a participant in previous competitions, and he's also given us some problem ideas, and some of which were incorporated into the competition this year. I'd like to thank Caddis as well. They're an online testing and evaluation service that have various software programming problems so that employers can judge or evaluate potential applicants' skill levels. And they expressed an interest in APL, and they were working with us and helped to promote the competition this year. And finally, I'd like to thank our team here. We have a lot of people that get involved in making various aspects of the competition work. And in particular, I'd like to thank Fiona. I know she doesn't like the attention, but she was basically the project manager on this project and kept us all on the straight and narrow and kept things moving along. So thank you all, and especially thank you, Fiona. So this is our 12th year and counting. I've had the pleasure of being involved with the competition since its very first year in 2009. That predates my involvement with Dyalog. I was a judge that year, and it's really been again one of my favorite parts of the user meetings to participate in the competition. So this is our second year using our self-hosted MyServer-based website that we developed, and it's gotten really good reviews and feedback from participants. So we split the competition into two phases. We have 10 phase 1 problems, and these are basically one-liners, problems that have one-liner solutions. And so here's a screenshot from phase 1, and you can see that over here we have gold, silver, gold, or blank icons, and a gold icon means you got the problem, your solution solved the problem, including all of the edge cases. So what you do is you read the problem description, type your answer in here, your solution in here, click test, and you'll get some immediate feedback about whether your solution passed the basic cases, the edge cases, or if there was an error, it gives you some indication as to what the error was. And so then for phase 2, we had 9 phase 2 problems this year. And generally, these are more complex problems, and they were across a number of different domains: bioinformatics, finance, information retrieval, text processing, algorithm development, recreational computing. So unlike previous years, to qualify for consideration for a phase 2 prize, you had to solve only one problem or all of the tasks of one problem. Now, it is true that most of our winners did solve, if not all the problems, nearly all of the problems, but still you could qualify for one of the random prizes, even just solving correctly one problem. So I'd like to go through some statistics very quickly. Where the participants from? We had 71 participants this year across 26 countries. Over a third of them were from the US, but we had a lot of single entries from a number of countries, and hopefully we'll get that up in coming years. How did they hear about the competition? We asked for people, asked how people heard about the competition, and you can see again that over a third were previous competitors. And then in 2019, we had 68 people submitting 478 correct phase 1 solutions. So that's about 48 solutions per problem, and there were 25 phase 2 submissions. This year, we had 71 people submitting 597 correct phase 1 solutions, which is an increase of about 25% in terms of the number of correct solutions. And here's the distribution of solutions by problem. We had 10 problems, so you can see that problem 10 seemed to be the most problematic, as it were. And then our phase 2, we had 40 phase 2 submissions, which is an increase of 60%. So I always like to go through the reactions of the some of the competitors, and I see that I'm running out of time, so I'll try and speed through this. But phase 1 was just beautifully presented, and phase 2 had interesting, reasonably hard challenges. I really liked this year. Challenges were super fun. The competition was fun, and it was helpful to practice the use of APL primitives. The one I liked here was it also gave me something to do during the quarantine. So this might be sort of a paradoxical selling point of the competition, but if the quarantine continues into next year, maybe we can leverage that. Again, I really enjoyed the contest. I liked how diverse the problems were. I really enjoyed this competition. I think it's a great way to learn APL. And my favorite, and I hope this is a compliment, but it says, "So badass contest, I even can't describe." So reading through all the feedback, people seem to really like the contest this year. We'd like you to get involved, and oh boy, do we want your problems. So you can contact me. We've written up guidelines for good problem submissions, and drop me an email and ask for the guidelines, and I'll be happy to send you a copy. We want you to encourage and refer students to participate. If you refer someone that wins a cash prize, you get the equivalent amount. So this year we gave away $3,900 or $3,100 in referral awards. We want you to spread the word at your local schools and universities, and all of the previous phase 1 and phase 2 question sets are available on the Dyalog website. Richard Park has also led an effort to put interactively validated previous phase 1 sets online, and he'll be talking about that a little bit later today. And finally, you can also be a sponsor. Crystal ball time. I think we're going to get an earlier start next year. We're shooting for first quarter. We've been drafting candidate problems for months. We're going to have a revamped phase 2 that's going to be more like phase 1. And I predict that we're going to have at least 30% growth in phase 1 participants and 33% growth in phase 2 participants. And now I'd like to get to the winners. First of all, the full list of winners is available on the Dyalog website. And there are 10 $100 prizes were given to the top phase 1 participants. There were 5 $200 prizes rewarded, given to 5 random phase 2 participants. Third place was $750 and went to Joshua King. Second place was $1,250 and went to Zintaras Klus. I hope I got the pronunciation correct. And the top non-student entry, who wins a delegate package to next year's conference or user meeting in Portugal, was Woo-Suk Kwak from South Korea. And then finally, the grand prize for $2,500 and an expenses paid delegate package next year's user meeting is Andre Makuka from the University of Hong Kong, China. And with that, I'm only a minute over my time limit, but I would like you to please welcome with me Andre. Thank you.